side to save the world from the Titans' pride. In the midst of chaos, we stand tall. With nature's forces, we'll conquer them all. We are the Earth's guardians of the land, unleashing thunder, fire, water, wind.
Hey guys, Stellar Christoph here for another Alestro's video, and today we're going to go over Moonrise. So Moonrise is officially set for pre-order. Pre-orders are up. If you guys have not pre-ordered yet, please use my affiliate link in the description below. But I figured we're going to take today on this video, let's go over the entire set of Moonrise. Obviously, most of your content creators have been doing these, so we're going to follow suit as well. I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. Any deck ideas I have, and any combos with the said cards that we're going to see in the set. So first off, as every new set and new element comes out, the very first one will be the newest. So that's Alun with a nice full moon in the background. One thing I'm pretty sure Dan said is that every one of these spirits has a different solar cycle, different moon cycle in the background, which I think is really cool, especially marketing wise. And shout out for Alestrals that the day one of Moonrise pre-orders was on full moon. So shout out to the team. Like that's really good marketing. Anyway, Alun, I'm liking it. I'm liking all of these, especially by Pyro in the desert with the ruins in the background, Leviathan jumping out at night. Again, just really cool designs. Alestrals in general, and you're gonna hear me say this a few times over this video, I have not seen a bad design from Alestrals. Obviously, you like some more than others, but there isn't any bad designs. Daniel Reyes is my personal favorite. Shout out to Daniel Reyes. But yeah, guys, like everything is good. Every artist they hire is good. Like, is amazing. So let's go. We got Zaptor, which again I see more ruins in the background here. Got Lycaris flying, Floor Mine. I think it's in a tree right there. And Luminate, I'm guessing that's Temple of the Sun. Is my only guess. Like the coloration, that's just the only thing I can kind of think of right now. Let's go ahead and start off with the Alestrals. We got ourselves Nobby. Let's see. Nobby, again, just cool card. I do like the design on this one a little bit more than the Shattered Stars one. Again, different artist. My man Daniel Reyes. I said it. I'll say it again. Daniel Reyes is in the house. Nobby receives one or more Lunar. You can go ahead and give each Celestial that isn't Solar Lunar -2 attack until the end phase. When this Nobby destroys an Celestial, you can ascend it into Double Gator from your hand or deck. So a lot of people in the community have labeled this an honorary 5. Just because you're going to lower everything on the field anyway, so it's already going to bump the attack up. Yeah, I like it, especially with the night sky in the background, and then it's a good card. And now that you're going to have the full Ascension line, you can turbo out into the stronger cards. Just feels good. As you guys can see right here as well, release date January 24th, 2025. So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and head back. I wasn't sure if we could go ahead and click on the cards themselves. Like, I think there's another way to change this. Oh well. Let's go Double Gator. Alestrals that are not Solar or Lunar get -1 attack for each Lunar that's enchanting this Double Gator. When this Double Gator receives one or more Wind or Lunar in a Nexus, you can ascend it into Fulgorix from your hand or deck. Again, 5/4. It's okay, but this is, you're gonna get Double Gator out, and then you're immediately gonna Nexus onto it, like immediately. This card is not to come out and just hold a board state. Now again, with a special ability, for every Lunar on it, they're going to lose one attack. So this one automatically is going to be 2. So going up to anything that's 6 or less, Double Gator is going to beat over it. So in that situation, you can leave it out. Me personally, in my mindset, playing Double Gator is a quick Ascension. Like if you're running a Fulgorix deck that's not the starter deck, you technically really don't need Double Gator unless you're doing that quick Ascension. Now let's go to our boy Fulgorix. So this is a 3-cost solar or 2 solar and 2 lunar and 1 wind. I apologize, guys. Alestrals that are not lunar or solar get -5 attack. So that's nuts. So legit, Pantera's on the field and Fulgorix is tying with it. Like that's completely ridiculous. They have, well, I guess it doesn't work against Celestia. So Celestia will still beat over this, but that's nuts. And it's a Nexus itself, so you can Nexus Lunar or Wind. When this Fulgorix receives one or more Lunar or Wind in a Nexus, you can target an opponent's card and put it to the bottom of their deck. So again, if they're running Celestial, we'll use that as the example moving forward. They have Celestial, you're able to get Fulgorix out. Go ahead, Nexus onto it. Boom, you're taking their strongest card in their deck, you're putting it underneath. Really cool card. Like I love this design and everything. I can't wait to see the full art in person, especially the full art Stellar. God forbid if I'm lucky enough to see one. The coloration for these is just so good. It's that dark blue and green coloration to it. It's really cool. Fawnlet, we know Fawnlet already. We saw that in Shadowed Stars. When you normal cast it, you can search your deck for an Artemis or a Theraheart, which I will go over in just a second. And then this Fawnlet gets +1 defense for each soul or lunar that is on Artemis. So you're going to play Artemis with 4. This is going to go up to a 6 defense. Let's go Theraheart. When a player activates a counter rune, you can disenchant 2 Lunar from your Artemis in order to negate the rune, and then you can special send this Theraheart into Posthumous from your hand or deck. 6/4 stats are okay. Again, this card is very similar to Pheromote in the Pharaoh Guys deck. So Pheromote is also the mid ascension. If you attack, you can disenchant or you can expend Lunar to go ahead and stop the attack and then ascend into Pharaoh Guys. So Theraheart's effect very similar. You're going to start counter runes. So that's awesome. So you're going to go ahead and attack, and your opponent's either going to play a shield or a Gorgon to stop the attack, and then you're going to get your Posthumous out, which Posthumous mixed with Artemis is not affected by counter runes. Now let's look at the new design. So unaffected with counter runes as long as Artemis is on the field. And then when your Artemis suppresses a card, you can target and destroy. So that's actually really cool too. But again, you also want to run this into some kind of a Nexus deck so you can Nexus more onto Artemis or have the next Artemis ready to go. I do like, so the subclasses for me, we're going to keep pay attention to that throughout this video. I know the Ghost one was Spectral, but I didn't know this one right here. It's Behemoth. I don't pay attention to the subclasses that much. Obviously, Bears I know, and Ethereal I know, but that's kind of cool. We're going to have to pay attention to that throughout the video. Voldux. So I'm going to tell you guys straight up right now, this Lunar Phase deck is too much for me. It is too many moving parts, and I will screw it up. 1 attack, 5 defense. That feels good. Having a 5 defense on field is cool. When you cast a Lunar Phase, you can draw a card or return a Lunar Spirit from your underworld to your Spirit deck. This card can be activated twice each, or this effect can be activated twice each turn. The reason why it's stated that way is that there's a total of 8 Lunar Phases. So if you're running that type of deck, which again, for me, again, another reason why I won't, because the Lunar Phases is just a lot of moving parts. There's a total of 8 Lunar Phases, so you can have up to 24 in your deck. I have not seen a deck list for this yet. I'm sure there's enough people. I'm sure Caster's Corner or the Knots probably have a video up, or they'll probably have a video going up soon about it. Me personally, this is just, it's too much for me. Once I get the cards in hand and I can actually lay them out in front of me, then I can kind of decide which route I'm going to go if I'm going to attempt that deck. But anyway, the Lunar Phasers, there's counter runes, there's invoke runes, so that's why it's saying you can activate it twice each turn. This would also be on your opponent's turn, mind you. So again, I think Full Moon's one of the counter runes. So again, your opponent's doing something, Voldusk is out, play Full Moon. We'll go over that later on in this video, but then you're still going to go ahead and heal this turn anyway. On your opponent's turn, you either draw a card or you're going to heal. So that is really cool. Even on your opponent's turn, you're going to be able to activate this effect, especially if they're running those cards as well. Volumbra. Going from a 1/5 to a 5/7 feels great. And the subclasses for these, Ethereal and Brute. So that one is a little smiling guy's a Brute. When you discard a Lunar Phase during your main phase, you can special send your Voldusk to Volumbra from your hand. When you cast Lunar Phase Full Moon, you can special send this Volumbra to Volclipse from your hand or deck. Which obviously Volclipse will go see that just after this one. So again, for me, I'm terrible at some of this stuff. When it says when you discard, it doesn't say you can discard. So I'm pretty sure there is 1 or 2 Lunar Phases that have a discard effect. So you can play a Lunar Phase that discards, and then you have to make sure you discard a Lunar Phase during that. So, but this also goes to like Golden Apple Discord, which its actual ability is to discard a card from your opponent's hand. So you could always add a Golden Apple into your deck, play Golden Apple, discard Lunar Phase, and then get Volumbra out. again, the same turn you're playing your Voldusk. And let's see the big boy. 6/12. And this is Brute Ethereal as well. And this Volclipse gets +1 attack for each different title among Lunar phases in your Underworld. So if you have all 8, it will jump to a 14. You can shuffle 8 Lunar phases with different titles from your Underworld into your deck in order to return an opponent's field to their hand. So that's pretty nuts. Especially if your opponent has a full row, a full field in front of them. Play Helios Chariot Ride. They can't activate runes. Get Volclipse out. Again, as long as you have the 8 different phases in your Underworld, you're going to shut their entire field down. And then not to mention, you're going to restack your deck too, which is really nice. There aren't too many cards off the top of my head that let you do that. So again, you're going to play these Lunar phases throughout this deck. You're getting Volclipse out, and then you're going to go ahead and shuffle them all back. And just a thought in my mind is if you're running 2 Volclipse, the next turn your opponent doesn't have much on the field, ascend Volclipse into another Volclipse. Again, if you're running all 8 Lunar phases, if you're running 2 to 3, that's up to 24 cards. Maybe even do that effect 2 turns in a row. If that's the case, then you're also going to do 7 points of direct damage over those 2 turns, which would feel great. Let's go. Gloombat, I'm not going to click on it, but Gloombat came out in Shattered Stars as well. You can special cast it from your hand with a Lunar if your opponent has at least 2 face downs. Disenchant from this to destroy a rune. And Phasmacore, this is the Ascension. And shout out, I believe, Stellar Phasmacore. It was that. I think that might be the LGS promo. But 8 attack, 1 defense. So again, remember, Cryoblast pops this super easily. And the subclass is Eldritch and Behemoth. When this Phasmacore is destroyed in battle or by opponent's card effect, you can expend a Lunar. If you do, at this turn's end, you can special cast it from your Underworld. So again, your opponent's going to easily destroy this with its effects, with card effects, like I said, Cryoblast, but you're going to bring it back next turn. The issue with that, keep in mind, you're going to need 2 spirits to play it, so you could always do the, what do you call it? Gloombat, sorry guys. Gloombat special cast, then normal ascent into Phasmacore. That's costing you 2 spirits on that turn. It gets destroyed. You're going to expend 1, that's 3 spirits. The next turn, you're going to special, at the end of the phase, you're going to special cast it. You now just use 5 spirits in 1 turn. So make sure if this is the combos you guys are running, have healing. Make sure you have plenty of healing in that deck. Calfmel comes to mind really easily. It gives you a body on field, and then at the same time, you're going to heal 3 whenever it's destroyed. Hypnosum. I almost butchered that one. 1/1. When this Hypnosum is destroyed, you can special cast it from your Underworld attack position Misenchanted. So make sure you have other spirits in that deck. One thing I'd actually, honestly, thinking about Hypnosum, honestly, I'm thinking Drekking, right? Drekking, or if you're running a Nexus deck, or if you even have another Lunar card on the field, misenchant this into Wind, go into your Fulgorix. That would be a decent combo as well. Ectopossum. This is a 3/3/2 cost. When this Ectopossum is sent from your hand or deck to the Underworld, you can expend a Lunar in order to special cast it from your Underworld with 2 Lunar. There was a combo with this. I forget what it was. I believe it's the Lunar phases. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's the Lunar phases. So Lunar, activate 1 of the Lunar phases, toss it, and then expend to bring it back. Again, mix that with your Volducks, or a Volclipse, sorry. Mix this with Fulgorix. Go ahead and get the big body out quickly. Toxeerie. If anyone knows me, I love my my Tox cards. Toxaswarm is one of my best cards for my Wind decks. When Daybreak did come out, I did go ahead and switch that up as well. But we do have Insectoid and Eldritch. This is a 2/4. You can cast this Toxeerie. When you cast this Toxeerie, you can search your deck for a Dense Fog at your hand. Suppress Celestials, get -2 attack and defense. So already mix this with a Spectaris. Spectaris attacks, it suppresses, and Spectaris will get +1 attack, but then also with Toxeerie on the field, they will lose 2 attack and 2 defense as well. The one thing to remember for this, though, is obviously Dense Fog works with Toxeerie. You want to save your Dense Fogs for the Ascension, which is Night Venom. 6/6, you can discard a Dense Fog in your hand to target and destroy up the 2 cards. While you have at least 2 dense fogs in the underworld, this night venom cannot be targeted by your opponent's invoked runes. So right off the bat, resting on your laurels, an earthquake will not affect it as long as you have 2 dense fogs. That's, and like I said, with Toxeerie, being able to search for the dense fogs. If you can search for it twice, then you're set. But remember, as of right now, there's only a total of 3 dense fogs in your deck, unless they come out with titles down the road. I know they're playtesting set 6 right now, so who's to say they don't have a future title coming? Werepup. This is Ampump's Nexus form. When you normal cast this Werepup, you can search your deck for a Lunar Phase and add it to your hand. When you cast Lunar Phase Full Moon, you can special send this Werepup into Like a Void from your hand or deck. Subclass Brute. Nothing special about this card minus the special ascending for it. You're playing this card and it's getting destroyed the next turn unless you're playing Lunar Phase or you're protecting it. 3/2 just doesn't sit well. Not much is going on with that, sadly. Let's go Like a Void though. So right off the bat, 6/2, good attack. The defense, again, Cryoblast is going to destroy it. When this Like a Void deals piercing damage, which I love that. I think this is only the 2nd or 3rd piercing damage card. Glacier Ursa being one of the other ones. Deals piercing damage and is unaffected by counter runes if you cast Lunar Phase Full Moon this turn. So again, you're going to play your Lunar Phase Full Moon. You're going to ascend into the Like a Void, special ascend into it, unaffected by counters this turn. Again, you're only going to have 3 full moons in your deck, though. So, Pandolence, I believe the card's name is. It came out in Daybreak. Disenchant to bring back a counter rune and play it face down. So, just something to kind of consider. Havocup, 4/3, which very decent stats. Cannot be changed. Can't change position by opponent's card effect. So that Tsunami unaffected, Eddy Mother unaffected. Decent card. Again, obviously, me personally, I would love to see a 5 stat on there, but 4/3, very decent stats for a 1 cost. And the Ascension is Pulveror. Now, shout out to Pulveror. I think it was MBT was the first person that teased this card. I thought it was fake at first. I thought it was a drawn card or like someone made it up, but no, dude, this is legit. 7 attack, 4 defense. This Pulveror in your hand can special send from your Lunar Celestial if you disenchant Lunar from your field. So it has to be Havocup, so that part's really nice. And just disenchant from your field. So again, you play Artemis with multiple spirits. If you play Bow of Artemis, which we'll go over that later on in this video, or even Temple of the Moon, disenchant and go ahead and get Pulveror out. Quick Ascension into a 7 attacker. Drakid, Drakking, we know all about them. Drakid, you're going to target opponent's 1 cost Spirit Celestial, switch the attack and defense, the base attack with each other, and then if you play Rock in a Hard Place, you can special set into Drakking. Drakking, when it destroys an opponent's Celestial in battle, you can special cast it with Water or Lunar, and then if that Celestial is on the field, your opponent cannot attack Drakking while that Celestial is on the field. And we got Corvuscull, Avian Eldritch. When this Corvuscull receives 1 or more Lunar, you can foretell 3 and exchange a foretell card with a card in your underworld. The new card becomes foretold. So right off the bat for me, I'm thinking Ambrosias, I'm thinking PTAs, I'm thinking Gordon's Gaze. Foretell cards, if say it's another Corvuscull, switch the cards, and then now you know you're going to foretell or you're going to draw into that next card. 2 attack, 4 defense, it's okay. I'm pretty sure that's the same stats as Corvushan, which is the Nexus form. Bandaloon, 3 attack, 1 defense. You can expend 2 Lunar in order to take control of the opponent's face down rune. Depends on the rune and depends on the element. Remember, if say they have face down Tsunami or Tower Winds would be a good one. You can misenchant a rune. So you're going to take control of their rune. Say it's Tower Winds. They're setting up for a combo. Go ahead and misenchant it. Play it. That card gets destroyed. So I do like how he's a bandit, guys. So he's going to go ahead. He's going to steal that card and pop it. Porky Wrath. 2/2. When this Porky Wrath enters battle with an Celestial, you can give that Celestial -2 attack for each Lunar enchanting this Porky Wrath until the end phase. It just says enters battle. So it's you don't have to be the one attacking. So anytime it enters battle with an Celestial, they're going to lose 2 attack So hypothetically, this guy's going to be a 4, and then so on and so forth. Kind of compounded. Spectral and Oceanic are the subclasses. Yeah, I like this, especially into a Nexus deck. So you got 2 spirits on it. Again, you're going to crash into an opponent's Celestial that has at least 6 attack. So I like that. It's going to be interesting to see what the combos you can use. This also pairs well with Bow of Artemis. Again, we will see that later on in this video. But Bow of Artemis, when you attack, I believe you can Nexus a Lunar Spirit. Comalis. This is going to be your main Nexus card for this set. 4 attack, 2 defense. Most of the Nexus cards do have 4 attack. The defense differs. Kinleo, I think, is one of the only ones that's a 3/1. But you can Nexus up to 2 Lunar. When you do, you can search your deck for a Ghost, which is Spectral. You can search your deck for a Spectral Celestial and add it to your hand. All right. Cryptoris. This is the 3rd of the Tauruses. This Cryptoris gets +2 attack for each time you foretold this turn. You can expend Lunar in order to foretell 3, and then any number of Lunar Celestials that cost at least 2 spirits foretold this way to your hand. Very specific. I'm telling you right now, for me, this is probably not a card you'll see me use. I'm sure there is combos, like decent combos with it, but again, having a 2 attack, most times you're only going to be able to foretell once per turn, so jumping from a 2 to a 4, it's okay stats. But to me, as of right now, this isn't a game changer. Again, I might not be seeing the combo that other people are. The only thing I'm liking about this is expend a Lunar foretell 3, and then get a 2 cost foretold. So it's going to be more stacking your deck, so you know that a 2 cost is coming. So say, for instance, you got Corvuscull. Corvuscull, I can see a combo using that. Foretell, and then you can pick a card from your Underworld and switch it. So say what was the card? Let's go Necrolith, just for example. Necrolith was played, it got destroyed. You can go ahead and use Corvuscull. You can go ahead and use its foretell mechanic, get Necrolith back on the top of your deck, and then say Cryptoris is already out, you expend to foretell, and then you can add this guy to your hand. If you have not cast that turn, then you can go ahead and play your Necrolith. Which, let's go over Necrolith. 7 attack, 3 defense. Attack stat, it is the strongest Lith to date. This Necrolith can be normal cast with 2 Lunar if an opponent has at least 2 suppressed cards. When you cast this Necrolith, you can destroy a suppressed Celestial. So, Dense Fog. Again, start your turn with Dense Fog. They have at least 2 Celestials out. Yeah, it has to be your opponent's Celestials. But Dense Fog, go ahead, play this, pop whatever one is stronger or more of a threat, and then attack over the other one. Ardbud. Sorry, guys. 2/1, so not the best. Disenchant, so it's an Omnispirit, which I think is kind of cool. Disenchant Omnispirit from your insectoid cards in order to special ascend this Ardbud into Aardvarum from your deck. When this Ardbud receives 1 or more Earth, you can search your deck for a 1-cost insectoid Celestial and add to your hand. So again, you're going to summon Ardbud immediately with its effect. You're going to search for an insectoid. You can disenchant from another one on the field to special ascend into Aardvarum. Which I will say, Aardvarum's Stellar, Promo Stellar, much nicer. 6/3, so it's a decent attack and defense. It's going to survive at least 1 Cryoblast, which I like. When you cast this Aardvarum, you can search your deck for an insectoid and add to your hand. So every time the first and second one are played, you're searching your deck for an insectoid. You can target and destroy an insectoid Celestial. If you do, special send this Aardvarum into Antitan from your hand or deck. So I haven't seen anything for special casting an insect, but if you play Aardvarum and somehow special cast an insect, and then you can go ahead and destroy it to special effect, ascend into Antitan. Which, let's look it up right here. 2 Earth and 1 Lunar. 11/8, decent stats, very decent stats. You can discard a insectoid card from your hand in order to target and destroy a card. This effect can be activated up to 2 times in a turn. When there is an insectoid Celestial on the field, this Antitan is unaffected by your opponent's Celestial's effects. So the second I see that, my immediate thought would be like Kinleo. Kinleo's Nexus effect will not work against it. Discard insectoid. So again, when you're running these guys, you're going to have 2 to 3 of each of them in your deck. So that'd be up to, 9 cards. So the other you know, 6 to 9 Alestrals in that deck are going to need to be all insects. But yeah, being able to pop 2 cards in 1 turn feels great. And then if you can keep an insectoid, so again, my first thought is Spectaris and Viscerus. 2 5s. Whenever they enter battle, they're at least 5 attackers. Not much is getting over those without some kind of help, and especially if you're protecting them too, then this guy's not affected by Celestial effects, which feels good. And that includes cards like Eddie. So Clovey got a new artwork in this one. So when it receives an Earth, you can draw a card. And then it also received a new Ascension, Cedarsaur, 4 attack, 6 defense. So I can't think of the other one's name right now, but it's a 6/8 double Earth is the other Ascension. But when this Cedarsaur is sent from your deck to the Underworld, you can special cast it with 2 Earth or 2 Frost. So the second it comes onto the field with that effect, it is misenchanted. Keep that in mind. You can expend Earth in order to search your deck for a 3 cost with Earth and Frost and add it to your hand. Have we seen one that fits that criteria is my question. We have not seen that criteria yet. So my guess is Cedarsaur is a mid-ascension to something that's coming out later on. We'll continue down. There might be a card coming up that's like 2 Frost and an Earth, or 2 Earth. Well, it wouldn't be 2 Earth and a Frost because it would be right here. So we'll see moving forward, but this might be a card that gets a full ascension in the next set, and they just released it early. Cactubrol. A 1/2, so kind of weak. When an opponent activates a counter rune, you can disenchant Earth from this Cactubrol in order to negate the rune. When a player casts Sandstorm, you can special send this Cactubrol to Cactubrum from your hand or deck. So again, Findust and Hibufen. This is a card to add into those decks. All right, Cactubrum. When Cactubrum cannot be targeted by invoke runes, which is really cool. So immediately, Resting on Your Laurels and Earthquake will not work. When this Cactubrum receives 1 or more Earth, you can special cast a Cactubrol from your Underworld. So that's really cool. We can bring the Cactubrol back, use that effect to stop counter runes. Cinder also got a new art and a new Ascension. So every time it receives a fire, your opponent must send the top 3 cards of the deck to the Underworld. Soren Plays has a deck profile on Cinder. So if you guys want to check that out, obviously it is not for Moonrise, but keep that in mind. Let's go Salashade. So 3/3 Fire Lunar. Gets +1 attack for each Celestial in your opponent's Underworld. When a player casts an Celestial, an opponent must send the top 3 cards of their deck to the Underworld. So immediately you're going to have Cinder, mill 3, and then protect it for a turn, bring Salashade out. And anytime your opponent plays an Celestial, they're going to have to mill another 3. So I can see that attack getting compounded through the roof. And again, it is protected from Cryoblast at least once. Bellowbeat. 2/2, so it is on the weaker side. Fire, Wind, Enchant Celestials get +1 attack. You can target a Fire, Wind, Enchant Celestial and give it the effect this Celestial is unaffected by counter runes until your next turn. So immediately you can use it on itself to protect it. Or I'm thinking cards that are Kinleo, for instance. Can't stop Kinleo's effect. Its Ascension, obviously you're going to want to use that. Cinder and Cinder's Ascension. Trifernal would be one. Blazerus. There's so many different cards you can use this for. And it's that until your next turn. So your opponent's entire turn you're protected as well. So I like it. Let's see what the Ascension is real quick. Enfornax. 4 attack, 7 defense. You can expend when in order to return an opponent's card to their hand, which I do like that, especially if it's a 2 cost. And it does not have to say if it's face up or face down. So it can be on the runes as well. It can be on the back row. When you cast an Celestial or a rune with at least Fire or Wind, you can give this N4X +2 attack until the end phase. So you're going to bump it up to a 6. That does not get compounded, so just keep that in mind. Oh no, when you cast... So actually, I take that back. I read that wrong. So you can compound that. So if you play 2 runes, you're going to bump that up to an 8 attack on that turn. So that actually is really cool. Especially add Nexus thing to it in Volcanic Forge. Bump the attack up naturally that way as well. Yeah, I like that. Especially my main thing, especially returning to hand. So again, you don't even need like Shield of Achilles, for instance. It's cheaper shield on wheels, on legs. Torchin. We've seen this card for a couple of years now. I believe Alestria Season 1 showed this guy running up a mountain. So when this Torchin declares an attack, you can return fire spirits from your underworld to your spirit deck up to the number enchanting fire on your field. So Torchin would be 1, Volcanic Forge 2, Hephaestus with 1, say 3. So your spirits are kind of low, your opponent has a stronger or less strong field. Torchin, you can go ahead, attack in, and you're going to heal those back. Also being said, combo that card with, say, Argo into Necklace of Harmonia, for instance, then you're going to pop your opponent's Celestial. But it is when it declares an attack. So I don't know how that chain would work with Argo and with Necklace. So if you play Necklace with 2 fire, I don't know if those spirits would be added into this equation or not. But again, personally, for me, I see this card saving it for later on in the game. Spirits are getting kind of low. You're going to play this for 1. Go ahead. It's going to get destroyed, but if you have other runes on the field or other fire spirits on the field, you can go ahead and heal those back. Let's go Snark. 3/3. When you cast Snark, you can search your deck for a card that is Water and Lunar and add it to your hand. So there's a couple different cards that come to mind. Obviously, Drakking is one of them, but also Tsunami has a new card in this called High Tide. It has a title called High Tide, which is Water and Lunar. So those would pair well together. And it's Ascension as well. Joblin. 8 attack, 4 defense, so already really decent attack, protected from Cryoblast. You can expend water in order to change the position of opponents of an Celestial that is not water enchanted. When 1 or more Celestials change a battle position, draw a card. So I'm liking this because already you're going to play it. You can go ahead and expend the change position, draw a card. You got Tsunami on the field, play Tsunami, switch everything that's not water enchanted, draw a card. Eddie, play Mudlet. There's multiple cards that this criteria is going to fit. And this will activate on your opponent's turn as well. So just keep that in mind. Oysteress also got a new artwork and the new Ascension. So +1 defense for each enchanting water on the field. T-Fry01, if you guys know him on Discord, he's a buddy of mine. We actually played, he is your resident watercaster. He has probably one of the most expensive decks out there because he only collects Water Stellars, including his full art Locagon. So shout out to T-Fry. But he actually, I played against him, and he got this Oysteress up to a 13 attack in one of our matches. So it is possible. And Oystillery. 4 attack, 8 defense, 2 cost. This Oystillery in your hand can be special ascend from your Oysteress. If you disenchant water from your field, you can disenchant a water card in order to target and destroy a card. So any water card in your hand, you're good to go. And then again, play Oysteress and then speed right into this and have that 8 defense and popping cards. Starbit. Honestly, Starbit, one of my favorite Celestials that was revealed. I think everyone can agree to that. This thing is going to be hype moving forward. This Starbit gets +2 attack for each water enchanting it. So already it's at a 3. You can Nexus up to 2 water. When this Starbit has 7 or more attack during your main phase, you must either destroy it or special ascend it into Starbit Supernova from your hand or deck. The second you play this card, you're immediately you're turboing into Supernova. So I would not play this card unless you're ready to turbo into it. And it says you can Nexus up to 2. So Poseidon on the field, if you're running a water Nexus, say you got Drotagwa with 2 spirits, Nexus off the Drotagwa, get your Starbit out. But the second you play this card, it's the turbo into the next one, which is my man Supernova, the superhero. 7 attack, 2 defense, 1 cost. This Starbit cannot be normal cast. When you special cast this Starbit from another Starbit's effect, it gains the effect if this Starbit would be destroyed. First, you may Nexus all spirits from it. If you do, draw a card, then it's destroyed. So keeping Poseidon out, keeping other Celestials out, keeping Atlantis out. If it gets destroyed, you're going to go ahead and Nexus off of it. Keep in mind, when you play this, it is a 1 cost. And then when you special ascend to it, you're adding another spirit to it. But when you play Starbit Supernova, it's going to have 4 spirits on it right off the bat. So that's nuts. 4 spirits right off the bat, 7 attack. It's only a 1 cost with a special effect. Keep in mind also that you can play Rise from the Depths. It does not get its secondary effect, but discard it somehow for whatever you need to. Rise of the Depths is a 1 cost to bring it back to the field. So you can have a 7 attacker 1 cost turn 1 if you want to. I'm thinking Golden Apple Discord, discard Starbit, Supernova to the Underworld, play Atlantis, play Rise of the Depths. So keep that in mind. Like that, this card is going to be a monster, especially with future combos. Like I can't wait to see what other combos you're going to. I mean, I'm thinking you can do Water or Solar and add Golden Fleece to it, protect it even more. So as of right now, remember the Cryoblast does hurt it, but play Golden Fleece. Golden Fleece is going to be protecting it now from Cryoblast. All right, let's get on to my Thunder cards. You guys know me, I am the Thundercaster. Not much Thunder for this set, sadly, but they're all pretty decent cards. Electrify, a 1/1 Thunder. Disenchant 1 Thunder from this Electrify in order to search your deck for a 1-cost Thunder Celestial and add it to your hand. We have a search for Astrabbit. As much hate as Astrabbit gets, we have a search for it, and I am all for it. The only thing that sucks about this card is Spark its ban. So once we get Spark and Escape from Tartarus, that will also have a search function. Electro Knight, 4/6 Thunder Lunar. You can Nexus Thunder and Lunar. When this Electro Knight receives 1 or more Thunder, you can special cast and Electrify from your hand or deck. When you activate Electrify's effect, you can draw a card. So the main thing I'm reading this is I'm pretty sure you can use its effect when you cast it, as long as you cast it from a Lunar to a Thunder. If I'm reading that correctly, if you have Electrify out and you ascend Electrify into Electronite, you're adding Lunar to it, so that effect I don't think would work. But it's nice that it has its own Nexus ability. Play Zeus out, play Mount Olympus out, Nexus off of it. Go ahead, special cast Electrify, use Electrify's effect, then draw a card. Works out. Titanostrike. Titanostalk's Nexus form. I will say the Shadow Stars look so much cooler than this. I do like it because, again, it is a tree, so I do like you see the tree like going up. 2 attack, 4 defense. I think Titanostalk is a 1/4, so better stats. When you play your cast Thunderstorm, you can expend Thunder to target and destroy an Celestial. So already I'm seeing Titanostrike mixed with a Bronaglow deck. And Magnaros. So again, Sparky got banned. We haven't had a decent Nexus this entire time. We now have a decent Nexus. Nexus 2 Thunder. When you do, you can foretell cards equal to the number of Thunder enchanting cards on your field and add 1 Thunder Invoke Rune foretold this way to your hand. So we'll get into that in a minute. There's a couple more Thunder. There is a 1-cost Thunder Invoke Rune that is added to the set. But I think that only applies to like 1 or 2 cards right now. That's the only thing that kind of sucks. But again, going into future sets, they'll add more. And then now the fact that Thunder does have a 2 up to Nexus up to 2 feels a lot better. Windjinn, Genie of the Lamp. Right off the bat, I like how it does show wind and solar on it. You will see that in the Ascension. But when this Windjinn receives 1 or more wind, you can name a card, then foretell 3. If 1 or more of those cards with that name are foretold this way, add 1 to your hand and special ascend this Windjinn to Tornadojin from your hand or deck. So Tornadojin is a wind solar. So already I'm seeing mix that with First Light. Use First Light and then go ahead and play Windjinn and go ahead and get your boy. Tornadojin, 8/2 wind solar. So again, Cryoblast pops it. You can expend wind or solar in order to search your deck for 3 cards with different names. If you do, add 1 at random to your hand and shuffle the rest into your deck. I'm thinking Ambrosia, Gorgons, PTA. Like that's the main things I'm thinking of. Then go ahead, 1 gets random added to your hands, put the other 2 back. And you can do that every single turn. Carry On. So Carry On's cool because it actually got an Ascension in this set and a new artwork. And shout out to the little Amp Pump going off to Tartarus. Poor guy. When this Carry On is destroyed in battle, you can target the Celestial that destroyed it, then take control of that Celestial and move it to your Celestial until the end phase. And then its Ascension, we got Carry Off. When your Carry On is destroyed in battle, you can special cast this Carry Off from your hand. You can expend 2 Lunar in order to target an opponent's Celestial and take control of it until the end phase. So for me, I'm automatically looking at on your turn, you're going to play Carry On, go ahead and use Carry On to attack into a stronger Celestial, take control of that. Then you're going to play Carry Off. Now you're going to have 2 decent Celestials on your field, hypothetically, attacking into your opponent. Or, again, when you take control of your opponent's Celestial, use that for your counter rune. Say you got Gorgon's Gaze face down. Just use it so that way you can pop your opponent's card. And then expend 2 in order to take control of your opponent's Celestial. Again, they have Pantera out or Celestial out. Go ahead and take control of a big body, do some massive damage. I guess Dan did use this in a tournament up by him, and he said it really popped off. Aviolith. So this is the last of the list. This Aviolith can be normal cast with 2 wind if an opponent has at least 2 face down runes. When you cast this Aviolith, you can draw a card for each face down rune on an opponent's field. That's all right. It doesn't pop the face downs, so it's not too bad. I know people going into the set with Gloombat and like Aviolith, they're not going to have as many face downs per turn. They might wait and just put 1 card down each turn. But again, able to draw up the 2 cards with that effect is pretty good. And so this is just the normal cast. If they have 2 face downs, you can go ahead and normal ascend into it as well. Let's go Snowlit. And then same thing, Frost didn't get too much in this one, but it doesn't really need to with these cards. You got Snowlit. You got a 4/2. When this Snowlit receives 1 or more Frost, you can send the top 3 cards from your deck to the Underworld. Again, I'm not good with Frost and all of these milling cards. Like Morphing, another one. I'm just not good at these decks. I'm sure there's people out there that already have a mindset for this and a deck idea. So shout out to them. I can't wait to see what they come up with. Me personally, I have issues playing that kind of a deck. Aspral, 7 attack, 4 defense. When this Aspral is sent from your deck to the Underworld, you can special ascend your Snowlit to it. You can expend Frost in order to send the top 4 cards of your deck to the Underworld. So I'm going to guess it's Snowlit's effect. And if this is one of the cards that is milled, then you can go ahead and special ascend it. And I'm guessing Blizztrix is probably the same. When this Blizztrix is sent from your deck to the Underworld, you can special ascend it, your Aspral to it. You can return 3 Celestials from your Underworld to the bottom of your deck in order to destroy a card. So that part is very nice. Especially with these milling decks, then you're going to keep milling, play this card, and then every turn you can go ahead and return 3 Celestials back to your deck and go ahead and destroy a card. Repeat the process over and over again. And Morfrost Scorpio, 2/2. When you cast this Morfrost, you can discard a Morfrost in order to target an opponent's Celestial and set its base defense to 0, which is really nice, especially if you're going up against like Astrabbit, which is a 5 defense. You're going to play Scorpio's effect, bring it down to 0, and then you can Cryoblast. During this turn's end phase, you can spend 2 Frost in order to destroy an Celestial. That's pretty neat. So every turn, you're popping a card. All right. It does look like Solar got some love on this one, but let's go Cockeray. This is Cockadoodle and Dracodoodles. This is their Nexus line. So this Cockeray cannot be suppressed, which feels good going into Lunar. You can when you activate First Light, you can special ascend this Cockeray to Dracoray from your hand or deck. So without seeing the last ascension, I'm gonna guess now it's Cockeray. Go ahead, play First Light to grab the 3 cost, and then you ascend into Dracoray, and then you have the 3 cost lying in wait. 4/1, decent stats. I'm pretty sure Cockadoodle is a 4/2. But this ascension line is stronger in the long run. Let's go Dracoray. 7 attack, 3 defense, solar, and fire. When you cast this Dracoray, you can return up to 3 solar from your Underworld to your Spirit deck. Love that you're getting a super strong card out, plus your healing. During your draw phase, you can expend fire in order to special ascend this Dracoray to Dragalis from your deck. So, yeah, I guess I was kind of right. You're going to play, what is it, Cockeray, whatever his name is, Cockeray. Play First Light, get your Dragalis, you're going to summon Dracoray, and then go ahead, the next turn, you're going to special cast it. Let's go Dragalis. 13/5, so it is protected from Cryoblast. You need 3 Cryoblasts in a row to destroy it. You can expend fire in order to suppress each face-up a card on your opponent's field until the end phase. Then enchant Solar from your Spirit deck or Underworld to this Dragalis up to the number of cards suppressed this way. That's nuts. This gives me big Arcolith vibes. Arcolith, as you guys know, when it's played, you can grab up to 3 Thunder and add it to your field. This one that's so much nicer. Your opponent's got four face-up cards on the field or 3 face-up cards. You're adding 3 spirits to this. You're going to have a Dracalis that has 6 spirits, and they have to be solar. So again, 5 solar. You're going to go ahead and play Temple of the Sun. That's bringing it to an 18 attack. That's ridiculous. And my main thing is you can pick from the Underworld as well. So that's my main thing is you're just going to keep recycling the Underworld. Spirits on field. And again, you're going to have 3 extra, say in that scenario, you're going to have 3 extra spirits. You can go ahead and play your Gorgon's Gaze. You're going to go ahead and play your PTA if they summon something. Should have killed whatever it is. Your Ambrosia. That gives you a free Ambrosia. To get, say, you expend fire, you're going to get all that solar back. Use that solar to play Ambrosia to get your fire back. I do like this line. Armadon. I do like seeing a 6 defense. This is the second 1-cost 6 defense after Mustation, I believe. When this Armadon changes position, your opponent must expend a spirit. So immediately I'm thinking Armadon's in defense, play Eddie or Mudlet, use its ability to put it into attack mode, expend. Your opponent's going to attack the next turn. You can go ahead and play, I want to say one of the Lunar phases has a position change, but then again, play Tsunami. Opponent attacks, you play Tsunami, then you're going to burn your opponent at the same time. So that is really cool. And Gardon, which shout out to Gardon, you guys will see shortly there is a full art Shield of Achilles, which you might see something similar. Your Leshras get +2 defense. I'm already liking that. When your opponent activates an effect that targets one or more of your runes, you can expend 2 solar in order to negate that effect. So protecting your runes on field, which feels good. And then also, my first thought with this is mixing it with water, mixing it with Galaxy. So you have Gardon and Galaxy on the field. You're going ahead and give Galaxy a now 7 attack. Give this guy water, and then he's also going to switch. Remember as well, all your Leshras get +2 defense. That's him too. So you're going to play this. The second you play Gardon, it's going to be a 3/10. That's ridiculous. Like a 10 defense just by playing it, that's nuts. Luxomare, this is Aeromare's Nexus form. Same exact stats, 4/5. When an opponent takes control of this Luxomare, you can special cast an Airsdale from your hand or deck. That'll make sense later on in this video. There is a card that came out that this will make a lot more sense. Let's go Airsdale. When you cast as Airsdale, you can foretell 3. You may special cast a 1-cost Solar Celestial foretold this way. So that's cool. 6/6, very decent stats, very good stats. And then being able to add another card to your field feels great. Especially if it's going to be, say, Ardon, and then go ahead and activate those abilities. All right, Artemis. This is Apollo's twin sister. When you cast this Artemis, you can enchant up to 3 more Lunar to it. Disenchant a Lunar from this Artemis to target an opponent's face-up card and suppress it until your opponent's next end phase. So it's my turn. I play Artemis. I'm going to suppress Sonic Orc because it's been done to me multiple times. My entire turn, Sonic Orc's effect is no-go. So your opponent is acting more defensively the rest of that time. Bow of Artemis. This might be one of my favorite artifacts so far. The Empowered Celestial deals piercing damage, which is great. When the Empowered Celestial declares an attack, you can Nexus Lunar from your Artemis to the Empowered Celestial. This mixes with that Porcuraith. The more spirits on it when it enters battle, your opponent's going to lose 2 attack per card. So that feels great. And then also just adding more cards to it. Adding more spirits to it, dealing more damage. Again, it's going to be piercing. So say I have Lyca Void out that has 2 spirits. I'm going to play Bow of Artemis. Attack with my Lyca Void, add another spirit. Now it's going to be piercing damage for up to 2. Alright, so now we got our Lunar phases. There's a total of 8 Lunar phases. So this is a new moon. They're all going to be Lunar. I don't know about the cost. I think there is a couple 2 costs in there. Sorry, guys. Target an Celestial on field and suppress it until the end phase. You may expend Lunar equal to the target card's enchantment cost and discard a Lunar phase if you do destroy it. Again, I'm just going to go through these Lunar phases. There's so much going on with these cards, but there was another card effect that we read earlier today that if you discard a Lunar phase, you can special cast it, I believe. So that kind of pairs well with those. How many counters? There's 4 counters total. So this one is Waxing Crescent. Target a Lunar Enchanted Celestial, give it +1 attack until the end phase for each Lunar phase in all your underworlds. So this one you're not playing unless you're playing other lunar phases. All right, let's go first quarter. A 1-cost counter. Draw a card. When you discard a lunar phase, you may discard a lunar phase to return a Volt Dusk, Umbra, or Volclipse from your underworld to your hand. Again, unless you're running those decks, I mean, you're playing a 1-cost to draw one. Waxing Gibbous. This is another counter rune. Target a Lunar enchant Celestial and change its position. You may expend Lunar and discard a Lunar phase. If you do, target an Celestial. The target Celestial cannot be destroyed by card effects this turn. And Full Moon, this is the one that I see a lot of people using. Enchant up to 2 Lunar to an Celestial on your field. When this Lunar phase is discarded by another Lunar phase, you can foretell 3. I don't care about that as much as this is a 1-cost that lets you enchant 2 more to the field. So if you're playing, say, Navi is the first thing that comes to my mind for this. My opponent's going to attack me with a 5 or 6. I'm going to go ahead and play Lunar Phase Full Moon and chant up to 2 onto my Navi. Now that attack gets dropped, plus the extra spirits. Even if it's a crash, I'm going to have extra spirits, so I'm either going to deal damage to my opponent, or they're not going to deal damage at all to me. Next one is Waning Gibbous. This is an invoke 1-cost. Shuffle a Lunar Phase, Volumber, or Volclipse from your hand or underworld into your deck in order to search your deck for a Volt Dusk and add it to your hand. Final quarter. This is a 1-cost invoke. Search your deck for up to 2 Lunar Phases and send them to your underworld. When this Lunar Phase is discarded by another Lunar Phase, you can return 1 Lunar from your underworld to your spirit deck. So with that effect, it's a free card. It's a free play. So that's, oh, there's one more. This is Waning Crescent, 1-cost invoke. Return up to 2 Lunar from your underworld to your spirit deck. Again, I see this just being played in most Lunar decks anyway. It's basically Ambrosia. It's a less powerful Ambrosia, but you're still going to heal 2. When this Lunar phase is discarded by another Lunar phase, you can draw a card, then discard a card. Again, I'm not going to be running these cards. I'm not going to lie to you guys. There's just way too much going on. Until I see some actual gameplay with it, it'll be one of the last decks I think about making. Temple of the Moon. This is just awesome artwork. This is Jack and Art. Shout out. This is absolutely stunning. I can't wait to see the playmat in person. But any Celestial that has a Lunar enchanting it, it's +1 attack and defense for each enchanting it. Divine Healing. Enchant up to 3 spirits from the underworld to a divine rune on your field. I'm a big fan of this because, like I said, I think I said in a different video, I'm not a big fan of playing a, say, Zeus and loading spirits on it. Unless it's Apollo, that's probably the only divine I'll load spirits on, or Artemis. So the one thing I'm liking about this is literally just play your Zeus for 1, and then go ahead and play Divine Healing and add the other 3 spirits to it. It'll save you more of a hassle in the long run, in my opinion. Spoiled Fruit. This Spoiled Fruit can only be cast when an opponent activates a card effect that returns 1 or more spirits from the underworld to their spirit deck. Negate the effect and destroy that card. That's your Jotors and your Jotagras. That's your Ambrosia. That is your Lunar Phase. I think it was the last one. Basically, your opponent's going to heal. You're going to stop the heal and destroy the card. So I do see this being a 2, if not 3, in every deck when it does come out. No Stern Untoned. I do like how they're coming up with some of these different names. Was it Follow the Wisp is another one, or Don't Poke the Bear, which shout out to the bear on field. Search your deck for a Golem Celestial and add to your hand. This is for the lists. That's Vertilith right there, if you guys did not know. But this is the search your lists, which is really cool, especially when you have, like, say, Lavalith, which is only a 1 of in your deck now. It does cost you 2, but you're able to get that card. Let's go Tsunami High Tide. It is a Water and Lunar. You can see the Drat King in the art. Change the position up to 2 Elestrals. You may return a Water Lunar from your underworld to your field. So again, I do like that. It is an invoke, so you're using it on your turn. But I immediately think of, what was it, Snark? Or Joblin, one of those cards. It was anytime a positions change, you're going to draw a card. So I just see that paired up with those cards. And then also you see your Drat King, so go ahead and you can use this, change 2 positions. Go ahead and say you have a Solar and Earth on the field, right? And chant one, or say Astrabbit, because most decks have Astrabbit. Astrabbit's on the field. You may enchant a Water or Luna to it. So it's going to have one of those 2, and then ascend into your Drat King on top of that. Magnetic Force, 1-cost Thunder. So this automatically goes with your Magnaros. This magnetic force field, can only be cast when an opponent activates a non-counter effect that causes you to expend spirits. Negate that effect, and your opponent must expend 2. Let me rephrase that. Magnaros is a invoke. Search is a 1-cost invoke, so that does not work. But still good card. Especially was it Toxicity, right? Toxeon. I don't know why I said that one. Toxeon. Whenever your opponent plays Toxeon, for instance, then you can go ahead and block it, and then you're going to make your opponent expend 2. Same thing with, I'm thinking Krakatuga, I'm thinking of Eruption. You can go ahead and pop their card, and then go ahead and make them expend 2 in the process. Hurricane. Destroy all face-down runes. This is your Heavy Storm. Anyone who plays Yu-Gi-Oh! This is Heavy Storm. Wind, Thunder, and Water is your first triple-cost rune with 3 different spirits. This is going to be interesting to see how many people actually play this in their deck. That's just again, it's a lot of moving parts. And shout out how they did the 3 spirits. So 1, 2, and 3 down here. Normally the 2 different spirits are on each side. So that's cool. That's how they decided to do that. Aurora Borealis. This is a counter rune for Frost. Discard a card in order to enchant up to 1 Frost from your underworld to your field, and return 1 Frost from your underworld to your spirit deck. So you're going to play this. You're going to discard a card. It's a free play because you're going to heal that 1 back, and then you're also enchanting Frost to your field. So I imagine Catarant would be the receiver for that. Catarant receives a Frost, it heals. So that would be a good combo for that one. Cunning Offer. This is the one for Airsdale. So it is an invoke with Solar. Until the end phase, an opponent gains control of a target Celestial on your field, and that Celestial gains the effect. When this Celestial is destroyed in battle, you must expend 3 spirits. So you're going to play your Cunning Offer. You're going to give Airsdale, whatever the card's name is, to your opponent. You're going to ascend it into the Ascension, and then you're going to destroy it, and your opponent will have to expend those 3. Because during that time, your opponent is controlling the card that says you must expend 3. Sometimes the text is read a little bit wonky, but that's basically what it's saying. You gotta make your opponent lose all that. Helios' Slumber. 1-cost counter Solar. Target Celestial in your underworld and put it to the top of your deck. Guys, this is Sonic Core Retrieval. I'm sorry. That's the only thing I see with this card. You're going to get any Celestial back, but this is Sonic Core Retrieval. 100%. This will be a card. I'm trying to line cards up for my Sonic Core deck to make Sonic Core viable, make Sonic Core good. Helios' Slumber gets me my guy back every time. And then we're going to get the full arts. We already gone over the cards, so I'm not going to click on every single one of them, but Fulgorix. You see all the Smokies right here. He's a hungry boy. He's getting ready for him. You have your Postumus, which you see the Stellar Astrabbit right here. I did not notice that at first. I had to have someone point that out to me. And then you also got your, or is that Ardbud, whatever his name is. And then Voldusk. Speaking of Voldusk and Volclips, you got them right there. Let's go page 2. Phasmacore. The cool thing about Phasmacore is Novacore is in there as well. So when Novacore came out, you could see Phasmacore in the art. So it's kind of cool now you're seeing both. You're seeing the other side of that battle. I think Pokemon has it in Brilliant Stars, whatever that set is. It's Charizard and Venusaur. You're seeing the other side of that battle. Draking, we've already seen this art with the Stellar Draking from Shattered Stars, but now you see the official artwork of the official coloration. And Titan, he's an angry boy. He's ready to fight. Starbit. I absolutely love that we got Starbit for a full art. 100%. I will be shooting for 3 of these. 100%. Tornado Djinn. I actually didn't see this one before. That's actually cool. Let's actually click on this real quick. Could I zoom in? I cannot zoom in. I want to know what this guy is right here. Like, I'm going to have to pull it up on my phone and zoom in a little bit, but that's cool. But it literally looks like someone is talking to the genie. Like, grant me my 3 wishes. Grant me my 3 cards back. Carry off, again, was that Illuminate running away? Or, he's about to carry him off. Literally carry him off. Blizztrix, I'm fine with that one. It's got Snowlet right there. Artemis, we kind of expected very similar artwork to Apollo's. Um, Full Art Ambrosia. Shout out to Full Art Ambrosia. So I had a buddy reach out to me. I think it was Soren Plays. That you see this woman right here, right? So there's only a couple women that are in this game. Artemis being one of them, and then Demeter being one. That color does not match. So my buddy's thinking that it is Hestia. So keep that in mind. If we eventually get a Divine Rune for Hestia, Soren Plays is the first person I talked to that has shouted that out. Full Art Shield of Achilles, gorgeous. And the Tsunami, very cool. Just like the other sets, you are getting Hollow Spirits, and it's the same ones as the ones shown in the beginning. And then you're going to have your box toppers, guys. You got your Fulgorix, which we have seen the Full Art Stellar for this one. So this is purple and like a darker green. It's a more neon green and a blue. The Posthumous and the Volclips, we have not seen these Stellars yet. We do not know what they look like. But just like with Daybreak, you do have a chance of 3 full art box toppers. Let's go reverse Stellars real quick. You're going to get your Voldux. And then every lunar phase. So there's a total of 9 in the set itself. And then in your starter decks, you have a Havocub and you have a Bandaloon. Both look cool. The Havocub I like so much more, though, in my opinion. And let's go serialized. So there's at least 5 unrevealed, but we did get Arbud, Bellaby, Starbit, which I love the color. I can't wait to see Supernova as a stellar because you know it's going to happen one day. Carry On and Carry Off, you'll see in a second, but we did get the full Ascension line. Snowlit, so we do already see what that Ascension line would kind of look like. Morphrost makes sense. Every Morphrost so far does have the Stellar with that same orange, green, that yellow eye. Gloombat, again, it makes sense because Phasmacore is the LGS Stellar, so that makes sense that we would have that as well. Same thing with Toxeerie. Its Ascension also has it's in the Kickstarter promo pack. It is a Stellar in that as well. Cryptoris, I like this so much more than the original. And if you guys look on its back right here, it actually has a completely different artwork on the stone tablet on its back. Carry Off, super cool. I like how it says Nobby. So I'll be that guy. I want to make sure I can actually show it to you guys full on screen. This is Stellar Nobby. I do have a prototype of the card. So I don't know why it hasn't been showed because I'm pretty sure Dan did reveal it. But that is going to be your Stellar Nobby. Let's see. We got the Stellar Fawnlet, so both of those are your starter deck Stellars. Your Unknowns, we already know those are the box toppers. And then there's your Fulgorix. So that thing is nuts. That is an awesome coloration. That's awesome design. Who did that one? Mom. So shout out to them. That is a super cool idea. Fawnlet, super freaking cute. The Nobby, it's got the same coloration as Fulgorix, so I'm all for that. But that is 4, 8, 12, 16. Jesus. This has 20 Stellars in this set. That's nuts. So I don't know about you guys. I'll be searching for one of each Stellar. The 1 out of 10s, I am a firm. I will not buy a 1 out of 10. So if I pull it, I pull it. If not, SOL. But guys, that is your Moonrise set. I do like how Carry On and Carry Off both at one time got it. Toxeerie line, the Gloombat line got theirs. So shout out. We do not know what these unreleased ones are. Honestly, right off the bat, I'm thinking Exalt Flare might be one of them because there was a competition a few months ago for Exalt Flare. And same thing with Catarant. I feel like Catarant might be one of these. If they don't come in Shattered Stars, I can see them being in this set. But guys, that is your Moonrise. That is your Moonrise reveals. Those are the Moonrise cards. Super hyped for this. Again, as the time of me making this video and the video being posted, pre-orders are already up. So if you guys do need to pre-order, please use my link, my affiliate link in the description below. Help your boy out. It proves to Alestros that they made the right choice partnering up with me. And that being said, guys, I'll see you on January 25th because the second I get this stuff in hand, we will be ripping this stuff. We'll be making videos on it, and we're going to be playing. Clash will be also come out December 1st, so can't wait for that. And then it's first quarter for Clash official release. So once Moonrise hits that, guys, we'll be going full steam ahead. That being said, my name is Stellar Christoph. I'm your Stellar Hunter Extraordinaire, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Fire, water, wind, earth, frost, solar, and lunar, hand in hand, riding the waves of power, will never break, for the gods smile on us, our destiny to make, complete a